Ever thought about what kind of funeral you would like? It's not easy, but a new report says that instead of being sombre occasions, funerals are increasingly becoming a celebration of someone's life. The Co-op says many people prefer to have a party now instead of a wake, and it's released pictures of some of its more unusual funerals. Among them, this one where the funeral procession was led by a person dressed as Darth Vader, another one with a leopard print coffin and mourners wearing leopard print clothes. Also one which was themed around, yes, you can guess it, Only Fools and Horses of the TV and other famous TV comedies as well. With me now is Poppy Mardle, who runs her own funeral company, and you do it with a bit of a difference as well, Poppy. Please explain.
Well, really it's about taking a kind of human approach to our work. So it's about providing people with flexibility and choice and just recognising that every family is an individual. So whether that might be the daughter organising a kind of tomato plant floral tribute, or family and friends weaving flowers into a kind of bamboo or willow coffin. It's just really about treating everyone as an individual. On
social media, Fiona told me she had planned her funeral and didn't want any dark colours and no morbid hymns. Laura said she loves how in South America funerals are a good excuse for families to have a party and celebrate their loved one's life. Are you seeing more of these influences now?
Definitely. I mean, I think the phrase celebration of life is really interesting because you can't force that. You know, if the circumstances are devastatingly sad, people maybe not feel like celebrating. But I think it's about recognising that kind of black Dickensian parade of hearse and limousines and man in top hat and cane at the front isn't necessarily appropriate for everybody.
No. On the contrary, though, sometimes those big sort of commemorations, in some ways, they do stick out now because then they don't happen that often.
It's true, and watching kind of horses sort of prance down the street, watching kind of guys in black suits sort of in a military way shoulder a coffin into a chapel can be very impressive. I think that's the point, is it's about what's appropriate to the occasion.
And do you find it's becoming easier for loved ones to come into you and talk about it, and that people are planning them more often?
Yeah, I mean, being a 34-year-old woman, you know, our offices are kind of light and airy. It's about trying to make the experience as free of fear as possible. We can't reduce the loss. Loss is absolutely appalling, but we can make ourselves approachable and human, and I think therefore people feel more comfortable to come in. I think people also recognising that if they don't talk about what they want now, then there's a chance they might not.
Will.
Yeah.
Let's very quickly talk us through a couple that you've organised. We've got one, a picture of one, I think, where the coffin was decorated to look like a piano.
Yes, this was a lovely man who was a musician, and it was obviously entirely appropriate that his coffin would be printed with the piano, carried by his daughter and other family members with our team. Natural burial, so that's beautiful in the woodland. Just entirely him, right for him. And we've had other funerals where, for example, the family want the coffin to come home before the funeral, which was, you know, a traditional thing to do. In London, that can be a real challenge. People live in these narrow townhouses, so we've kind of taken windows out, coffins have gone through, living room windows. It's always an adventure.
It certainly sounds like planning ahead is probably a good idea. Poppy, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.